Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Horticultural Hales. I hope you're all doing very well. Today I'm just going to show you what I've done in the garden. So I have dug in all the manure. I'll show you what I've done with that first. Then I've got to sow another lot of lettuces. As you saw a couple of weeks back, I sowed my winter lettuces. I planted out my winter lettuces. Now I've got to sow another lot of spring lettuces, which I've got in just my pocket. So I've got to sow another lot of winter lettuces. Then I'm going to sow my broad beans. I'll show you how I do that. And then I'm going to try sowing some carrots in the greenhouse for a change. And so I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Here we are, I've just got back. I've got 2 tons of manure here. And you see how big this pile is. All of this is going in the garden. We've got pretty much just about enough to fill the garden, and this is all going to move round the corner to the garden, and I'm going to dig it in all by hand, all moved by hand, all dug by hand, and that'll probably take me the afternoon. Here's now the garden's been dug. As you can see, it's all in, all that massive pile I have dug in right around here. All of that is now dug in. That's about a spade depth into the soil here, and now I shall leave this for about another month, that the manure rot, and I'll be ready to sow and plant in. So these are going to be my Tom Thumb lettuces. I have my seeds just in my pocket. All I've done with these so far is just get a small seed tray, fill it full of compost, and just gently tamp it down like I showed you last time. And now here I've got some little gem lettuces. Just make sure, so I can sow these now. Get that to one side. So all we want to do with these, similar to tomatoes, obviously open up the packet first. Tip a few out into your hand, enough that you want to sow for yourself, and if you're sowing for other people like me, get a few extras. And then just very, very gently just spread them out everywhere along the soil. Now with these, you don't want to sow them too close to the edge, else when they grow, it's annoying to get them away and take them out when you move them on. And also, if they're too close to the edge, it can harm their growth. And I say, if these aren't up in approximately 2 weeks, then they've obviously not germinated properly and something's gone wrong. So I would then probably think about sowing another lot. Just so then you have your lettuces. You want to obviously do them as quickly as possible, just so then if you are like me, trying to get rotation in, then your initial batch of lettuces aren't too grown before you get the next lot in. Alright, I shall just put these gently into into a little bit of water just to soak through, and then give these a label, and that's the lettuces done. So next up, I've got to sow my broad beans. Now, as you can probably tell, I have to sow a lot. In total, I've got to sow 40 this year. These will all be in the garden. I've found out I've got enough space to sow 40 in the garden. So I have 40 pots here, full of compost. So I'm just going to sow all these. So what you want to do with these, it's actually pretty simple. You take your broad bean, just take some of this fluff off, and you want to put it in that way, not sideways or any other way, that way, so it's upwards, and just end down and push it into the soil like so, about fingernails depth, so about 0.5 centimetre to 1 centimetre deep. so that, and then gently cover the top like that. So here I'm just sowing some early Nantes carrots. So all I've done is just put down a drill about 2 centimeters deep. I don't know if you can see, but all along here I have put just lightly sowed some seeds all the way along. And then all I'm going to do is just very gently take some of this loose soil and just sprinkle it all along, just covering these up. Such, just to get the gardener's line out of there. So then I'll keep the gardener's line in here taut so I know exactly where I've sown them, and then hopefully in a week to 2 weeks I'll see some carrots coming up. So you want to do the outro then, huh? Alright, go on then.